Hello and welcome back to Bhavani JAIA. Today, we are talking about retail banking, specially made for Indian bank employees aiming to crack JAIA. In our journey through Paper 4 Module B, we start with the 8th unit, Important Liability Products in Retail Banking. Here, we will be learning about demand deposits, current deposits, SB account, time deposits or recurring deposits, nomination and claim settlement. We shall learn about the different types of liability products. Demand deposits are repayable on, they are payable on demand. That is, when you demand from the bank, you should be able to get these deposits. While the term deposits are repayable on expiry of the period, and they are also known as the time deposits or the fixed deposits. While the recurring deposit help people with regular income to save a fixed income every month and the same time earn interest at the rate applicable for the fixed deposit. Savings deposit and current deposits are two types of demand deposits. We shall look at the current deposit accounts in brief. Current deposits are meant to run businesses usually, and they're non-interest bearing bank accounts, which means no interest will be paid on these accounts. Higher minimum balance are to be maintained, and there is no restriction on the number and the amount of deposits. The main advantage of current deposit accounts is that it helps the businessmen to make a direct payment to their creditors by issuing checks, demand drafts, or pay orders or online fund transfers, etc. What are the different documents for the various current accounts that are present? There are different types of current accounts, right? So the different types of current accounts, we have the individuals, which could be single or joint, sole proprietorship firms, partnership firms, HUFs, that is Hindu Undivided Funds, it is, limited liability partnerships, limited companies, cooperative societies, charitable or public trusts, and transgender persons. Okay. So these the documents which are required for each of these different types of current accounts are given in the notes very clearly. So I'm not touching on those topics. We'll also look at the operational instructions that we have when it comes to all these current accounts. We have something called the joint accounts, in which the either or survivor clause will be presented. That is either, that is, we also call it as joint or first or joint or other. And we have the sole proprietorship form, in which the seal by the proprietor will be put by saying for and on behalf of the firm's name with the signature of the sole proprietor or the partner or the company. So because the company or the proprietorship firm or the partnership firm cannot sign, there will be a proprietor or a partner or a director of a company who will be signing on the behalf of the company. So this is the operational instructions. Next, we'll look at the savings bank account. So far we looked at the current accounts. So we will be looking at the savings bank account. Savings bank account, as we all know, encourages savings among the salaried employees usually. It encourages the savings habit among salary earners. It enables the depositor to earn income with interest. So whatever amount that you're keeping in the bank, you will be earning interest on that. Though it is very minimal, you will be earning the interest. It shows the income of a salaried or others in a year. So when you look at a statement of the savings account, you'll be able to see what income has a salaried person earned in a year. bank is the debtor and the depositor is the creditor usually. So bank will be the debtor and the depositor will be the creditor in this scenario. So there are various types of SB accounts, but we'll be looking at only few of them, which are very important. So SB account of the minor. So the minor should be 10 years and above. He or she should be able to read and write, and the minor should be able to sign, should be properly introduced, and photograph should be obtained. And a maximum amount credited should be less than 1 lakh. And no overdraft facility will be granted to a minor account. SB for illiterates. The illiterate must come in person and affix his or her thumb impression. No checkbook facility will be given to an illiterate person. So this you should remember. Recent photograph with the bank duly attested to be affixed. Joint accounts can be opened with a literate close relative. There's SB for blind or handicapped or old or sick. 3 photographs are to be obtained, and cash payment or deposits should be made in presence of a witness. Account opening form, specimen signature card, passbook to be stamped as blind person in case of a blind person. Handicapped persons may be requested to put his or her toe impression in case the person is unable to put a thumb impression from the hand. And in case of old or sick people who are unable to visit the bank, suitable power of attorney to be obtained. Next, we will look at the time deposits. Time deposit is an interest-bearing bank account that has a preset date of maturity, which means there is a maturity date on which the bank will be liable to pay the customer. The minimum period will be 7 days and the maximum period will be 15 days. Interest on FD is accumulative, that is paid on maturity, and simple FD will be paid every quarterly or monthly. Minors can operate with guardians. Interest will be paid for the intervening holiday on the maturity value. So if there is a holiday on the maturity date, the interest will be paid on the next day. Banks offer loan against FD up to 80 to 90% of the value of the FD. As per the RBI guidelines, any advances is prohibited against time deposit of other banks. So which means you can give loans on FDs belonging only to your bank and not to other banks. Maturity FD not claimed will attract the SB rate of interest. Income within exempted limit may submit 15G or H to the banker dependent on the age of the customer. If the customer is below 60 years, he can submit 15G, and if in case the person is a senior citizen above 60, he has to submit 15H to the banker so that he will be exempted from the tax. Next, we'll look at the recurring deposits, in which the very famous recurring deposit is called the 2-in-1 RD account. So here what happens is a stipulated amount automatically gets transferred to the FD, which is also called as a auto sweep. Shortfall in any SB, in the SB, that is savings bank, are met by breaking the FD, which is called as a reverse sweep. So what happens is, in case the amount is fixed in the SB as 10,000, and there is a shortfall of 5,000, suppose say. So what happens is the FD gets break. The FD is will be broken, and that 5,000 will be taken off from the FD and put in the SB account. Here what happens is, this follows the method called as the LIFO, that is last in first out. So whatever comes in last will go first. So that is the procedure. So RD helps customers with regular income to save. So this is the main thing. The recurring deposit always helps the customers with regular. For example, there is a customer who earns, suppose say 10,000 every month. He can pay like 1,000 rupees per month, every month for a year, and then he can earn a FD rate of interest on that particular savings. So next we have this unclaimed deposits sometimes which are not claimed for more than 10 years, which get transferred to something called as the DEF. What is DEF? DEF is Depository Education in Awareness Fund, which is maintained by the RBI. The depositors can, however, still entitle the claim at a later date from the bank. So here what happens is in the DEF account, these amounts are held along with the interest applicable, but you will be able to claim it back. Next, we have the nomination and also the settlement of claims, settlement of debt claims. Banks adhere to the provisions of Section 45ZA and 45ZF of the Banking Regulation Act 1949 and Banking Companies Rule of 1985. The facility to settlement of these claims in respect of the deceased depositors as per the guidelines. Okay. So what happens is the accounts with the nominees. So why does bank always ask customers to customers to nominate somebody? It is because later date is it is easier for both the banker and the customer's relatives to claim the deposits or the amount in the bank. So usually what happens is when you have a nominee in the account, you can directly make a claim, you can directly settle a claim because the customer has already nominated somebody in case he is deceased. So no order from the court can restrain the bank. So the bank becomes very powerful because it already has a nominee recorded in its papers. But in case of accounts without nominee, usually what happens is the court comes into picture if there are any issues or disputes, and also the repayment will be made to the legal heirs based on the family tree, etc. So this will take a lot of effort from both the relatives of the customer who is deceased and also to the bank. So that is why nomination should be done to any of such accounts. Like now you can register a nominee for your savings account, current account, fixed deposit, or recurring deposit. So all these accounts and even the safe deposit lockers and also your gold loans. So all these things should be nominated so that later date it won't be an issue to those who are closely related to the deceased person. The TAT, the turnaround time for any kind of settlement is usually 15 days from the date of submission of all documents. Okay. So far we have learned about demand deposits, that is the savings and the current accounts, right? We have learned about the current deposits and the savings bank accounts, which are the demand deposits. And also we have the time deposits or the recurring deposits also. Time deposits are bulk amount that you will be investing. A recurring deposit will be every month you will be investing the amount. But the rate of interest for both these things will be the same. And then next we have, we know the importance of the nomination facilities and also the claim settlement, the death claim settlements. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the world of banking. Stay tuned, stay informed, and keep banking with Bhavani JAB Wade. And thank you. And next up, we will be learning the next unit, that is the important retail liability products. Until next time, happy banking.